Hi, Stamper fans. Welcome to another Make It Monday. Thank you so much for joining me, whether you're catching it live on Facebook or if you're watching the replay on YouTube. I'm so glad you're here. I'm Nan Gerlitz, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Bloomington, Illinois, and I am here to help you connect with your people, whether that's gathering to craft together or you making handmade items to share with them. It's all about making and deepening those connections. So let's get to it. All right. First up, as always, excuse me, is Friday night stamping results. And woohoo, repeat for me. Hey, Penny. Welcome, welcome. Yes, my sailboat card won this week. We had some good votes for all of them. And it's funny because a few weeks ago, I added a little twist and asked people if they wanted to let me know who they thought, which of us they thought made the card they were voting for. And we fooled a lot of people this week. A lot of people thought that I made the flower card and Russ made the boat card. And obviously it switched. There were a few people that got it right, but overall, the ones that guessed, we fooled them. And we don't set out to fool you, but this color combination came from last week's newsletter. So if you are a newsletter subscriber, this might look familiar. It was the Basic Beige, Pretty Peacock, Secret Sea, and Crushed Curry. And then I just added Pool Party in for the sky. So yeah, absolutely loved that color combo. So lots of good things come out in the newsletter every week. So if you don't already subscribe, make sure you click that link. It's in the video description. So, okay, what do we got going on here? It is Funfold week, Funfold or 3D week. And while this isn't a fun fold, I felt like it was more in that category rather than techniques. It kind of could go in either, but today we're making shaker cards. Fun. So yes, we are going to make a version of this one because this was the last piece of this particular paper from the pack. So we're going to alter it a little bit tonight and make this. And I do have two others to show you at the end. So stick around to see those. All righty. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, let's get right into it. So I will say, I'm going to point out that I stamped this one after I cut out the arches, and you can see it's kind of shifted to the left a little bit. So tonight I'm going to stamp first and die cut afterwards, which is what I kind of normally would do. I don't know why I did it the other way, but it's just life's a game, right? All right. First of all, I have to remember which size. Yeah, it's the next one down. So for this particular one, for those of you, nope, next one down as well. For those of you wondering, I used the 5th smallest as the outside frame and the 2nd smallest as the inside frame. And this is from the Everyday Arches bundle. So lots of fun shaker cards I've seen online with this particular bundle. These arches definitely lend themselves to that. So I'm going to use my You Are a Ray of Sunshine. Super fun. And photopolymer stamps, I want to remind people that they are very bendy, so you can kind of make them do whatever you want, right? But that is also a detriment sometimes because they sometimes kind of get a little bit out of shape. So normally what I tell people is to kind of, gently toss them down and let them be their own shape and then pick them up. But I want to make sure that this is lined up inside this arch. So I'm actually going to put my larger arch down and make sure that this is straight on the sides and, kind of the shape I want it to be. Then I will pick it up. Then I know it's going to stamp well, right? Are you just using Memento black ink tonight? That's all. This is the only stamping we're actually doing because all of the fun is in the shaker, right? Okay, we got that good and inked up. Perfect. Did that much better than I did the other one. The other one had goops of black on it. So much cleaner stamping tonight. You know, everybody has an off day, right? That's what I was saying when we were watching the Cubs game the other night, and Shota Imanaga did not have his stuff that night. Whew, let me tell you. All right. So yes, that's the only stamping we're doing, but I do want to show you this fabulous stamp set because we've got quite a few arched greetings that are sized to go with those dies. And then we have a lot of fun little doodads. As far as greetings, we've got birds, we've got umbrellas, hot air balloons. That's what they call them. And airplanes. Oh, I knew you were going to say that, Penny. I thought as soon as they started talking Cubbies, I'm like, oh, she's a Sox fan. But we did take the series. We took the next 2 games, so I'll take that. It was painful to watch that one for me. And Russ, every time he pulls out this stamp set, is wondering why there's airplanes. And I'm like, well, like embrace the journey. So, you know, it's fun. A lot of possibilities with that. Okay. So let us get our die cut machine out, our big boss. And this one, yeah, this one would totally fit in the mini boss if you wanted, blah, blah, blah. Very mature. But I'm also using a embossing folder tonight, so I need the bigger machine as well. So you wondered about those planes too? Okay, Russ will feel very vindicated then, because he's just, every time he pulls the stamp set out, he's like, what's with the planes? Like, you know, planes are up in the sky, just like the other things are. All right, so I'm just going to center that die around my greeting. And then I can center the inside die inside the greeting. There it is. I'm like, I know I had another piece of tape. And we'll run that through. So any of the sets of nesting dies like this, where it's the same shape in multiple sizes, you can do so many great framed kind of things, or shaker cards, or, you know, all those kind of nesting type of dealy whoppers, you know, if you want to say. Guys, I cannot think of words. We had a thunderstorm here last night, and Dash, our older dog, is not a fan of thunderstorms. So I was on the couch trying to sleep from like 4:30 to 6 when my alarm went off, and words are not my friend tonight. So I'm going to do my best. So naturally, let's do shaker cards. Something simple, right? Shaker cards actually can be simple, but they do take a little bit of thinking, you know, so it's nice that I have a sample to follow. Okay, so much better. Yes, much, much better. Stamp first, die cut second. Or Dash, yes. Oh my gosh, he just, like, his whole body vibrates. He's such an anxiety dog. And he didn't used to be. Thunderstorms, fireworks, nothing bothered him. And the funny thing is that fireworks don't seem to bother him or anything else. It's just the thunder. And this morning when it started, I couldn't even hear the thunder. I'm like, it must be coming, but I think it was the lightning that was setting him off. And it looked more like heat lightning. It was just really weird. And I'm very cranky when somebody wakes me up, so I was not a fan, but you know. Russ got up the 2 nights before that, I think, because we had a thunderstorm that night. So I'm like, it's my turn. Okay, do I have a window sheet? I don't. Let me get one. I love that everything I need is right here. So I'm going to give you another little, a fun little tip. So if you know, when you get a photopolymer stamp set, where did I put that? There it is. Normally, when you open it up, it's got this kind of a thin, filmy, protective guy, right? And then the stamps are actually on a thicker, clear sheet. And this is basically the same material that our window sheets are. So I always save those. I put my stamps on the stamp case. I cover them with that thinner one, and then I save these to use for things like shaker cards. Save you a little money. Yeah, I was thinking it was the barometric pressure as well. You know, those darn dogs, they're so sensitive. So, all right. So we are going to cut. You forgot. I thought I was done with that. We're going to cut the same size. No, actually, we're going to cut one down. So I'm going to cut the fourth smallest of the window sheet because I don't want it sticking out and I don't want to have to fuss with trying to get it absolutely straight, right? So we'll bring that big boss back in. I could have cut this all at the same time if I had been thinking ahead, but as we've already discussed, my brain is mush. And I don't know if you could hear that. It's pretty loud here. Every time I cut a window sheet, it sounds like that. So you're not breaking anything. You're not harming anything. Your dies are fine. Your machine is fine. It's just quite the funky sound. And I think it's because of all the extra stitching as well on there. So maybe that's it. But anyway, you're not hurting anything when you're cutting window sheets. It's fine. Okay. So now, normally you guys know that I'm kind of a convert to the liquid glue, but I will say trying to do liquid glue with window sheets is very slippery business. So instead, I usually break out my snail or my Terran tape, something like that. So I'm just going to put some on the edges here. And the window sheet is not going to cover all of this, but that's fine because it won't matter if it doesn't. And you will see. All right. Got a bunch of little fuzzies. Okay. So I'm just going to line that window sheet up. And this is the piece that's going to hold in our shaker elements so that they don't just fall out of the card, right? This is also the piece that makes it very hard to photograph shaker cards because they tend to shine in whatever light you've got going on. So, okay. So we've got our shaker element. When I made this one, I actually cut the bottom piece out of the same arch and assembled it that way. But tonight, we're going to use this piece from the Full of Life Designer Series paper pack. So same color scheme and everything, and same kind of sunrise, sunset type of deal. But I'm not going to cut anything out of it. We're just going to lay the shaker over it. So we've got our thick white base. Let's do a little bit of prepping things here. And then I think I'm still going to, well, you tell me. I embossed the back of this one with the dotted circles. So it kind of had the center point here and it expanded out from there, just like this did. Should I go ahead and emboss this one too? Let me know, Penny. I think you're my person tonight. So you have to tell me if you want me to emboss this with the circles or should I leave it plain? Get things going while I'm waiting for you. Will still be flat enough? Yeah, it should be. Yeah, it should be. Now that you say that, that's a really good point. I think I won't emboss it because yeah, it might not. Wow, see, this is why you're here. Thank you. Okay, let's see. So for your shaker element, so this is going to go here. It's going to look pretty. For your shaker element, you want our foam strips, our foam adhesive strips. And the reason you want these, let me get a set of dimensionals out. You can see they are actually taller or thicker than our dimensionals there. So you can see that maybe you can see. My camera is not great. There we go. So the dimensionals are on the bottom and the foam strips are on the top. And you can see that the foam strips are a lot thicker. So it's going to raise that shaker element up higher. You can, if you don't have the foam strips, you can double up on your dimensionals and like stack them too high. One of the reasons I love these foam strips is that they are very bendable. They're kind of like our photopolymer stamps. So they are just like dimensionals. They're sticky on the one side and then they have the paper backing on the other. So I'm just going to get pretty close to the opening because I want all those shaker elements to stay within that opening, right? And I'm just creating a little dam here so that they stay in. So I can literally bend this all around this arch right up, and I'll just butt it up with that, and then I can just cut it out. All right. And because it kind of, you can see it kind of wrinkles up as I bend, I go over it with a bone folder just to make sure it's really well adhered to the cardstock below it. Okay. All right, we're going to set that aside for just a second. I have another little thing. So you'll notice on this one, I used ribbon to kind of, you know, delineate that, that line that I made there, right? I really like the ribbon, so I want to use it on this one, but if I put it across the center like I did with the other one, you're going to see it right through my shaker element. So what I'm going to do instead, let's just kind of eyeball where I want that. I'm going to start the end of it under where that's going to be. And I'll bring it around to the other side. So I'm going to use tear and tape so it doesn't separate. Okay, so there's the end. So we'll put it right about there. Yay. It's like hopefully my tear and tape doesn't show. And then we'll bring it around to the other side. Where's my scissors? Actually, I think I will tack this down and then I will cut it. So it's going to go right about there. Did I get it right? Yes. Okay. I will cut that right off at my tear and tape. And now we'll still have that. Now it's a whole illusion, right? It's like a magic trick. And that'll actually help keep our shaker piece down. So here's the part of the shaker card that always got me. I'm like, how do you get the shaker bits in there? And literally it is you're just dumping them on the flat piece, on the backing, as it were. So these are the Peaceful Poppy sequins. These are retired. So this particular batch is not available. I did not have a lot of embellishments without adhesive. I've got, you know, rhinestones and pearls and all that stuff, but they're all adhesive backed. So if I tried to put them in there, they would just stick. And that's not what we want to do. So, but I did find out afterwards that the ones I used on my other cards that I will show you, the loose gold sequins and the loose frosted dots, neither of which have adhesive, are both available. So yay! So there are other ones that are available in our store as well. All right, the other thing I'm going to do real quick, I'm going to take my embossing buddy and I'm going to hit the inside edge of this foam adhesive strip with my embossing buddy. And that'll take some of the adhesive, kind of the stickiness off of that inside edge. And hopefully that will keep my sequins from sticking to the foam tape, okay? If you have a little extra powder or anything, on your window sheet, you can just brush that off. All right, now we take our liner off and we're going to sit that right over our sequins. And voila, we have a shaker card. So a couple of them are sticking. That's fine. You can also, when you make a shaker card, you can take a couple of your sequins or whatever you're putting in, and you can actually attach them, you know, a few of them like that. So, so that they kind of stay there. So that way, if the card is kind of face down and everything's down at the bottom, you can still see a few of them up there. She pulls off the adhesive? I don't understand. On like she puts the stuff on the window sheet and then puts it on? Because I can't figure out how to like, how would you line that up? You know what I mean? So that's my big thing. So yeah, I just put the little sequins in the spot where they're going to go. All right. Now we're going to attach this to our card front, our card base, I mean. I twisted my ribbon around. It will be fine. Nobody will know. And there we have our fabulous shaker card. And what I could do is I could add a few of those sequins kind of around here if I wanted. I could stamp some planes, right? Just for Russ. So, yeah, so there's kind of my two versions of that. This one's stepped up a little bit because we've got some different colors and we've got the embossing. So you can make your little self-contained shaker element, do your rest of your card, and then just plop it down there. Or you can make the card front of the front of your card the back of your shaker element. So a couple of different ways to do it. She uses the sequins. Oh, that has, yes, I have seen that where people have taken the sequins or pearls or whatever that have adhesive on the back, and they take your pick tool and meticulously take that off. I don't have the patience for that. I'd rather just get stuff that's loose already. So I did promise you a couple of other samples, so I do want to make sure I follow through on that promise, right? And I also want to make sure I've got everything else. Yes, okay. So here's one with the Cheers and Sips. Super, super fun. And that is, so I used a bunch of the paper from that one. This is from that pack. This is from that pack. And then the background, yeah, you can see it there, is that kind of glass that they have. They have a watercolor glass. And so I just stamped the glass. We added the umbrella and the cheers. We've got those loose gold sequins in there. Lots of fun. Like bubbly champagne. And then, because I couldn't not use my sailboat, right? I grabbed our loose frosted gems. I really like these. And they have the pretty peacock in there, which goes so well with the pool party. So we've got those hanging around. But I grabbed this, what is the name? Country Woods is this designer papers. So these all three are from that. And it looks like the shiplap. It looks like kind of a worn, you know, seaside cottage type of thing. And then the wood grain. And then I used those little textured dots as kind of porthole rivets. So yeah, that was super fun. We've even got the little wave die cut there for something for the sailboat to go on. So there is our trio of shaker cards. The supply list for this particular card is, the link to that is in the video description, so you can see everything I used to make this card. The measurements and supply list for all three will be in this week's newsletter, so if you are curious about any of that, that is where you'll find all that info. Always a good time. And, you know, a new color combo and a sketch and all sorts of fun things there. Okay, so sad news. Next week, there will be no live on Monday night. Let me pop up here so I can console you. I know, you wait your whole week for me. But we are headed up to Wisconsin for the Mile of Music Festival this week, and we will not get back until Sunday night probably. And so I thought I was going to do something simple because it's simple week anyway next week. But then I realized I'm going to have laundry to do and probably sleep I'm going to want to get to. So I thought I'm just going to say no live next week, and maybe I'll pop on later in the week. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll have something else for you. Who knows? But yeah, no live on Monday next week because my heart will be full of music. This is my favorite time of the year. I absolutely love this festival. It's fabulous. I recommend it to everybody. Sleep and laundry are overrated. I don't know. Laundry is overrated for sure. Sleep is not necessarily. Clean clothes are definitely not overrated, and clean sheets are not overrated. Although we won't be here for a few nights to dirty the sheets. So, and thank goodness our son will be here to watch the puppers and the house. And so that's so nice that I don't have to worry about that. We have built-in sitters. So, all right. Well, that is all I have for you tonight. Thank you so much for being here. This is your reminder that if you got any tips, if you got some inspiration, if you just love to laugh at my hilarious jokes, go ahead and either tag your bestie in the comments or share the video so that somebody else can get some inspiration as well. Until 2 weeks from today, I'm still Nan Gerlitz. Happy stamping.